my kids have reached that age where they take showers. They take long showers. So afu tena uliza ati why did you take a long shower? Mto yake yuko like no I was just had some thoughts in there that I was thinking. Yuko like I don't want to enter there and sleep on your thoughts. You see that's a funny joke.
Iko Nini.
Episode 326. Tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Na hii ni 326 take 2. So kwa wase wa Patreon mtapata take 1 itaanza na video alafu go audio. That's what happened. Mu review gadgets iPhone 15 iko na one disadvantage, and the disadvantage is it keeps stopping to record. I don't know why the fuck it keeps doing that. But picha yake na 14 imetandika 14. It's subtle, but when you're out there like dark spaces, that's when it pops. Like because there's a
dark spaces,
yeah.
You shooting only pods, bro?
Yeah. Nilikuwa nimeenda majuzi nilikuwa nimeishia mic check so nikiwa mic check tulirecord like we moved from upstairs to downstairs and the way the 15 stayed consistent. I was like shit.
Ambia wase mic check nataka kuona hiyo studio yao huko chini. I'm impressed with some
uliona
equipment.
Iko nini
what I can steal.
So how do you counter the setback we just faced? The setback we just faced with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, isn't it?
I don't know what happened. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Do you have to keep it on charge or
no? Like
is it the profile?
It's fully charged. So me what I thought mbeleni kwa nafikiria ni juu ku overheat. Like if it overheats it inazima, si ndio? But now I'm very lucky that hii shit haiko happen States. Ku States unajua nilikuwa nafanya interview zangu nilikuwa solo. Nilikuwa na set record alafu na kama hapa. Acheki. But najua the battery is so good that it does not need to be in charge. Like ato ukiweka like with 50% you can do 2 hours comfortably. See, but now the disadvantage of it stops recording and you never know the reason.
Might be just
so I thought it was overheating. But it was not.
Might be a few bugs. Maybe it's the Malizona update. Ama something to do with like screen.
But 16 inakuja. Ama iOS 18 maybe.
iOS 18. So hizo might like kama in a screen ikitime out maybe na stop kila kitu. So those are a few things you might have to check. Because waki update tu kitu kuna na vitu zingine mob huko before uzijue. Kai.
Because imekuwa ikini stress sana because I love the image but imefika level zile naanza kufikiria like like damn did I make a mistake? Because 14 haikuwa na ujinga. 14 haikuwa na ujinga but 15 nafurahia sana vile, especially if you're shooting outside. Like damn, that picture is just shit. Like 14 haifiki your level.
Picturesque, cinematic and all that good stuff.
So it's really good. So kwa sawa Patreon at least you've gotten a whole hour ile ilikuwa tunabonga juu ya the political situation hapa Kenya. But saizi wacha tubonge juu ya something different. Like vile unatuchekisi hapa watatu tumejuana for over 24 years na tulijuana tukiwa adults. Inamaanisha sisi wote tuko in our 40s. So nataka kujua say kile una feel juu ya 40s. Like how's 40s inawapelekaje jo? Tukianza tuanze na Zaka kama.
Kwanza nataka kujua 40 yangu iko wapi because kuna wasonga early 40s na late
mid 40s,
late 40s na late 40s. Iko late man.
So let go.
I love it. I'm a bit more relaxed, no pressure. Ile design ukisha hiyo round moja ikikataa na nakwambia si mimi.
It is what it is.
It's not me. There's nothing I can do about it. Unajua zile pressure ulikuwa ganazo kitambo mazao.
Yes, I could represent.
Shindo kuperform. Like no, right now I'm chilling. Naweza kuwa celibate sahi. For a long time like it doesn't bother me like kitambo mazao ulikuwa unaweza cheesy.
Because it's your reputation out there in the streets.
Not even rap. Like you wanted it. Like you really like wanted
it. Nigga, we are the streets.
All the time. Ukienda kwa club, upate ni club iko tu na wase, immediately uko na walk out. Ukienda sijui, yani at all times you are just looking for pussy. Right now, shit.
Because imenikumbusha kuna meme fulani niliona that ati ilikuwa ati pussy has taken me to places more dangerous than a war zone. Na nikamseka amesimama hivi alafu unaona tu darkness unacheki alafu inanikumbusha like Muki wetu kwa tunaishi na wewe na naweza sema you are like every woman that you dated was a lucky woman because you are not a cheating dude. So this
black
dude,
men don't cheat.
Yeah, unacheki. So this dude was very faithful. Mimi nilikuwa out there in the streets jo. Nimedrive places zingine hii Nairobi jo. Kwa time nilikuwa na toka Kijani napitia majengo, apitia Shauri Moyo. What you like I don't like if my tie kibasta hapa. What happens? Alafu now I'm in my 40s alafu like pussy is just not the same. Like ile nikiwa kwa streets I don't even think about it. Like niko na sexualize madem sana. Nowadays I don't sexualize them. Nikiwa kwa street hata nione dem yuko aje, I don't think about what if I was to screw her, what if I was to nini. So hiyo imekuwa a very interesting journey. Like how can we make money?
How can we make money?
Nimekuwa in situations whereby najua mtu ananirushia but sitaki. Like right now I'm a faithful black men don't cheat type.
You're a faithful version of MOOKI in your 40s.
Yeah. Which is a good
thing. It's actually I won't say in reverse, man. Disclaimer. I'd say this. In our younger years, man, and in our younger years, chasing was not a thrill for me as such, man. I think we all have our kicks. We all have our kicks. But right now, for me, in my 40s, what relieves my anxiety is putang. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I need a good squeeze. I need a good woman to be with me. And mine is a foreplay from when we wake up, man. Like what breakfast is on the table, how you dress, what's it like, to just, walk around the house and to be able to realize like the laundry is done. Like there's a lot of things in Akuja. For me, the alleviation of anxieties, because when you grow older, fear and anxieties, because of how we've been conditioned in life, those are key things that dictate how we live. For me, we call it pussy. Is better than dowser pressure. Come on, it's the natural. It's just a natural healer for so many things.
Better than Valium.
You get what I mean?
Prevention ya nini ya prostate. Na basi tulikuwa na kwa bash fulani mazee alikuwa anapatia na hiyo story. Alafu alikuwa amelewa. But I didn't have permission to record him, so I don't know if I should post that video. But the shit he was
What did he say?
Mazee ukishafika hii umri yetu 40. Mimi nakwambia hata ba doctors wamesema wewe hata wife akikuzuchia wewe mwambie wewe umeambiwa na doctor ndio ni prescription. Eti unafaa tu kukanyaga.
But the enthusiasm is right now very. It's like ni kama when you connoisseur of sorts, It's not like you're that guy who ule mse wakuchop dania done. Nyanya kid done. You're not like that. Utaenda mahali ukae hivi uangalie. You can go to a really nice club, you can look at all the nice women and all their physical attributes, but utaweza toka kwa club na urudi home ulale. Bila kuchotana. Unacheki? Because ile kitu unataka out of all your experiences, but I bet the experience is different for women. You get? Because you see Zach is kicking it at 48, right? I'm 45 right now and I'm very choosy. I'm very choosy. Like I can choose like I just want to buy you coffee. I think I can have a good Ethiopian with you. I think I can jack off to you. You know what I mean? I think I can wife you. You get? At 40, that's the luxury we have. And these young boys are out here, man, running like, niggas with uhuru bags on their heads, not knowing what to do.
But kitu fani ni technology imefanya ama boy saizi they don't get it as much as sisi. This is the most interesting thing about it because sisi technology ilifanya tukapata more than our fathers like musemaga like hakuna there is no advice about pussy buda angenipatia ngambia tulia buda literally tulia buda unacheki but sasa technology ikakama ikamess up kwa sisi unajua Facebook ilikam so when Facebook kujad tuko tunaingia kwa ma inbox so ukikatia madem hata watano at the same time but now Instagram ikakuja so now a woman knew so much about you before even meeting you unaingia kwa inbox anaangalia picha zako anchikijo kiatu si like to expect anakuangalia kwa like iraena nukajasho jo so girls are getting screwed by the same people and it's worldwide
Yes.
so like the dudes right now are doing very crazy numbers girls are also doing crazy numbers but with the same dudes That make sense.
I get
so,
it. Someone said we are all brothers.
Yeah.
Somehow you've eaten the same sauce.
So kuna study ilitokea like in the US where it was saying like over 30% of men under 30 have not had sex in the past 1 year.
What?
Yes. And it's worldwide. That's why dudes, have you seen the way people who are anti-women are becoming popular worldwide? That's the reason, because dudes are not screwing.
With all the resources.
Yes, because now girls have more choices. You see, like back in the days, the girl could only get people in her neighborhood, sindio? But right now, your Instagram, if she's beautiful enough and she's on Instagram, there's a dude in Westlands trying to screw. And you see this dude in Westlands, animal nature. Women look for someone who can protect, provide and protect.
Provide and protect.
So, finances, it's what the protection is. So mademu wana go for the same dudes and dudes are out here struggling alafu the same dudes struggling alafu wamedanganywa jacking off is wrong unachikivile umesema jacking off in your 40s
so now, it was just like in the course of the conversation I'm not going to pillar for jacking off.
So now with that try and imagine a dude who's not jacked off he's not getting any women. This dude is so frustrated. He's going to look for his hero is going to be someone who's anti-women. That's why unachiki your rhetoric ya women are bad, whatever. It's flying in a fly kabisa. Because instead of them having more options, they have fewer options. It's very sad.
How so with resources?
Yes, because now them you got a choice, yeah? Screwing a dude who is financially stable, ama screwing a dude who's struggling and starting from scratch. She's always going
so
to
it's the woman who has more the options,
yes,
right?
Yes.
She'll be like, I need a thug dick. And then she goes, and then I need
like a rent nigga, there's a
thug dick.
food nigga.
Au vile mademo amedanganywa their dudes. Get right now so wasona these young girls, man. If you get a 23-year-old with a body count of less than 23, you get you're lucky. Shit, man, because they're also giving it out so much that it's nasty. Like right now, I respect any dude in his 20s who's still leaking vagina, man.
So mi nataka kujitoa kwa history.
Mileage ingine.
Nijitoa kwa history ya wase. Mi kwanza mi natoka Kisumu. Tumesoma vitu mingi sana kuhusu nyinyi watu wa Nairobi. Maana sijui there was an outbreak ya kisonono. Not only like no there was an outbreak like in Nairobi kulikuwa na sini epidemic or pandemic ya was it gonorrhea or what? It was in the headlines.
I'm a faithful dude, so I didn't hear that. That shit didn't even.
And even some corporate structures had to shut down because of some.
Oh, you're corporate. I know what you mean. The media station.
Nairobi itself, like ilikuwa inasemekana ati uwezi sema ati we ni msewa ati ule ni chalia ndunge awezi claim we ni chalia nduge wa west Zach pia ako hapo then shareholding sharecropping all that stuff so it's I think when you go beyond the urban centers it's a bit in as much as somewhere like Kisumu is urban Nairobi men have much more economical outlook prowess than their counterparts. It's maybe say Mombasa, Garissa, Mwea, you get. So you guys have the so-called options.
But I think hata huko ocha mazeti.
It depends on your land, right?
Yeah, huko
how much land you have,
Kona ka grandmother fulani.
What the fuck?
Inashindwa. Kalifanya?
Piga story kana sema ati vile kwa village. Yeye peke yake ndo akunywi dawa. She's proud.
Like anyone is on ARVs.
Like what the fuck shit is this? Like,
Because Ocha, I think
Ocha
that's because of culture. Culture can be so bad, Like parts zingine za Luo culture waga fucked up sana. Because hata nilicheka sana because at least nowadays they've started disrespecting people. So sisi watu wanaitwa jater. Jater is a wife inheritor. So there's even like a cousin of mine, some young dude. He's on drugs. He's on that HIV shit. Cause he's jater. This dude like ended up like tearing inheriting the wife of a dude who died with AIDS. Like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, but I think you'd be amplifying the stigma that has been cast on Luo culture based on the fact that it was like the way people say South Africans South Africa is most South Africa die of AIDS, or most Luos die of AIDS. So when you single out stuff like that,
I'm just saying that it happens still. Okay. It happens like that. People need to just, if a dude dies, you need to know what the fuck killed his
You'll be there interrogating the house help and stuff. Alikuwa namna gani?
Uko pale bana. Alikuwa anapita barabara akagongwa na lori. Okay, sawa. Sasa yeye ni inheritance, nimekubali. But otherwise alikufa tu, alikuwa mgonjwa.
Mgonjwa tu na akakufa.
Zia utaki shit. But I think one of the things...
So sex, man, life is
the 40s. Like sex is not a priority. And this is the funny thing. When sex is not a priority, life becomes easier.
You become focused. Nigga, I'm focused.
Yeah. Life
focused, man.
but life is ironical in its own way. Because if you had to ask me to change anything about my 20s, the only thing I'd change is my investment choices. Otherwise, no. When, like, vile umesema, pussy calms you down. Muki sijui kama tulipatia na story tukiwa na wewe hapa, but nilipatia,
it's not a pause moment, is it?
Zizi. Nilipatia Zach ile story ya there's a day you called me up.
Fuck.
Remember there's a day you called me up. I don't unataka tuende wapi? Ile siku tulistopishwa na makarao pale next to Alliance. You know the story that I was rocking at Tom.
I know that.
You see, that's how much I loved. That's how much I loved.
That thing, it was a truth or dare thing, or rather a bet, or I mean, and how you just, they never came for you.
They never came for me.
That you're rocking both sides. Like you need a rainbow scarf or something like that. Like you need alphabet
socks. It was a woman's nini. I was not the first one to do it. Beckham, Bennett like Beckham alikuwa amevaga nani siku moja. Kwa game ya Manchester United. Alikuwa amevaga ya Victoria Beckham.
Victoria's Secret, like hence Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, he had a Victoria's Secret.
But brother, let's there's also another word that's often misused and attributed towards physical, the whole penetration thing. Intimacy is not only sexual.
Yes.
I don't know if most people know that intimacy can mean like you're just chilling with her, you're all lazy, flipping channels,
it's a romantic dude, huh? In the
you're just chilling, you're just, it doesn't have to be, it's just physical. The company you spend with someone that you value, you equally value the time of the opposite sex. You understand? I don't know if we're on the same page, Zach.
Yeah,
we are on the same page. It's just that you probably are on that stage.
Fuck.
Now, some of us were it's hard to explain.
Well, talk to me, brother.
Do you know of long distance relationship?
Yes.
So what would be the equivalent of
sitting on the couch and chopping it up if you are in a long distance relationship
with someone?
Yeah. So what would be?
So okay, okay. So you asked me what is the equivalent of sitting? What is the how is intimacy with someone who is in a long distance relationship? Yeah. In terms of intimacy,
yes,
there's value is almost zero.
Really,
you have to have a goal. Long distance relationships, you have to have a goal. You have to have a timeline. Then. You have something to work towards. So if it's a bubble, this bubble will last until this you get. But if it can go, you can go beyond like maybe a certain time frame. I think so.
Okay. Long distance because ni tricky pia. Mlizamua mambo yenyu ya let's jack off together, then one records the video and releases like shit. I don't need that shit. I don't need it.
No, but where were you getting at with that?
Well, can I get up in now?
No. Where were you going?
No, because you asked me a question and I told you I can't. Like for me, I don't relate to yours because mine. I'm in a long distance.
You're in a long distance relationship, but y'all can just like talk. You have a goal.
Yeah.
You guys know when you're. It's not indefinitely long distance, is it?
Not indefinite.
Yeah, and she probably comes within certain time frames.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with that.
Okay, yeah. I was just trying to answer your question because I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't relating to yours.
When you talk about that, I mean, remind there's this song that I love, kabisa.
A song.
Yeah. Nagogani Matata featuring Sauti Sol. so wacha niwaquote lyrics nakuaga you're just my internet love hatuwezi get intimate love you're trying to connect when I disconnect ukiwa offline baby unani affect mapenzi ya internet hiyo ni mapenzi jo staki hiza jo za zina kuna kuaga nayo story ya first of all kuna time internet time imekataa Ruto amezima internet yeah place yuko kuna internet like I've never if I was in an LDR maybe right now neza survive because I'm in my 40s but in my 20s and 30s go damn Joe I'll be out here looking for kisonono like a nonsense
because I think what Mooki was talking about is like currently now in our 40s right
yes
because I think this is also it's new to me like this is my first ever so
first ever LDR but there's something that makes you die right yeah there's something like you know star 69 that you know what I mean
lakini uko out there zile za
no
toa tuangalie wacha cheza na yako nikicheza na yako don't need that
shit
shit
get a radio
yeah
somebody you guys
on some toa tuangalie type
yeah long distance
oh is she black
okay.
yes oh word
no,
and
okay
it's a long story
because me long distance ingekuwa hard but so one of the things lenda sema how you look at sex changes in your 40s especially if you went through that phase in your 20s otherwise you'll be the 60-year-old found somewhere but naked umeshikilia nini umeficha so kuna hiyo nini but another thing ile pia nimekam kurealize na age ni you actually never realize you're getting older sijui kama hiyo kitu happen here where I've come to think personally mi nafikiria getting old is a mind state there are people in their 20s living like they're in their 50s and there are people in their 50s living like they're in their 20s both have advantages but I'd say you'd rather be in your 50s acting like in your 20s than the other way around because and inaenda kusema like a big shout out kuna huu best yetu unajua Natal so Natal is 54 right now so Natal is like an Ikonini fan based in the US a real dude man like you know one of those so Natal tulikuwa na yeye kwa nda yake and he was blasting music this dude is like 54 and when you're around him you never feel like he's old and that's how you never even feel he's older than you that's how I want to live life it's like because me na feeling like in hindsight I feel like our fathers had to stick up their ass and I say this respectfully because we met these dudes in their 30s and they were acting like they were old the only thing ilikuwa inafanya like in hindsight unajua budako wako mzee ni juu he used to watch you and sister that's why you know this nigga was not old otherwise apart from that they used to act so old and hata ukiona pamoja
a bit of that rubs off on you
yes hata ukiwa around hao hauko na notice like wangeka tu pale wakicheka like they're always busy discussing I don't know if it's moi ama nini but na feel kama sisi tuna enjoy life more and so sijui kanyi mnaichukuaje
like in regards to
like,
in regards
I feel
to
like
we enjoy
life more we are not
and be more expressive sexually and so I'd tell you that first of all I think they had the better chance because without money they could get laid over here you have to crunch numbers like by the time I get to Upper Hill that flaccid there are levels of you know you have a hard dick right and then the level to that shit like hard flaccid limp you know what I mean so this is it's the period we live in where your financial prowess determines how hard your dick is
but
true or false it's true you used to make a joke like he used to say like when you're 16 you used to cross the road with a hard dick like just crossing the road or killing a mosquito for that matter like I got a hard dick you know
when you're young
you know, but it changes external factors just influence you know like you have to so many she's coming ati niaje baby nimechukua 6 kania balozi mimi nataka Don Pueblo you know you have your options are limited based on your resources
I'm trying to relate to what Moff just said like I'm trying to think of like where my pops was at my age he was really like he wasn't like me he wasn't free
wasn't free
like free spirit like you know the way I'm talking like this ye alikuwa hapo sana ungekaa mabuda mapolitician unacheki vile wanakuwa tight you know like sura imechange anataka kujulikana
so they were more alpha than we are. They were more alpha than we were.
Wanataka kuonekana yeye ndio buda.
Hence if they were more alpha than we were, they were polygamous, so they could control many homes than we are. They had better management skills.
But now who is enjoying life?
Sijakata because you have one life. Your life can't just be your kids. Your life just can't be. You have to also enjoy life. You have to be like I'm here. Yeah. This is me.
So I'm trying to see.
But you can't judge. You can't impose your perception of enjoying life based on the context with which they were raised. These are people who went through colonial tax.
Yes.
You know what a colonial tax was? If you have a hat, you had to pay a tax for that hat. You get that? The hat, you had to pay that shit. You had to go work, plow, and do all these types of shit. So their privileges and ours is different. We can't compare ourselves. I feel it's unfair comparing ourselves to them.
It's not unfair. We're just saying that we are enjoying life more than them. And apart from that, like even one of the reasons why I want to work out, leo nimetoka kuona picha ya Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan right now is 77. And she looks sumptuous.
Like something you'd hit?
Yeah. She's 77. So it makes you realize that age ain't nothing but a number. Sindio? Age ain't nothing but a number. Sometimes it's how you look at life. Like the same way nakwambia, me, they are my peers who I feel like didn't go through sexual whatever. Like I see them right now in their 40s sharing videos of porn, and I'm there like, I don't want this shit. Like I went through this. And then I look at them wanakama buda kabisa. Msee amekuwa like kitambi iko hivi, yuko whatever, like anaka, like he looks like he's, you can be 40 and you don't look 40. But kale ka buda yani anaka, hata ukimwambia 50, ukakuwa like, okay, he's 50s. And apart from how your body looks, it's also your mind state. Like what's your mind state? Are you the sort of person who, let's say you started your family early and your kid is in his 20s, can you still sit down with your kid and joke about pussy, for example? You see, a lot of men can't do that.
We can't do that,
and you need
as
to. Like your son, you need to. Like you need to tell him, like even if it's your teenage son. Like nilicheki this very funny joke. Yeah, this dude, I'd shared it on my Insta stories, but of course I shall disappear. And the story was this dude was joking like, my kids have reached that age where they take showers. They take long showers. So afu tena nauliza ati, why did you take a long shower? Ati mtoto yake yuko like, no, I was just had some thoughts in there that I was thinking. Yuko like, I don't want to enter there and sleep on your thoughts. You see that's a funny joke. And it's him talking about his kids jacking off. Yes?
Yeah.
And you see, sisi tuli grow up design, hatukuwa tunajua mabuda zetu, this is a phase of life, this is something you go through. Like dogs really try to do it. Acheki. And nilicheki ya elephant nilicheka jo. Elephant wekele ile nini pale alafu inaanza tu kuimove jo. Jo. But sisi now we are lucky to have hands. And this is a conversation you need to have with your kid. Like, yo, close the fucking door. Like, ule nephew yangu, Marvin. I used to tell Marvin, like, I won't enter. This is, I pay the rent, but I'll never enter your room without knocking.
I respect your privacy.
I respect your privacy. So when I knock, tell me, can I come in?
No, don't come in.
And
I respect that,
I'll respect that. I'll move. So, like, it's these little things that turn, because also you don't stop playing because you get old because you stop playing. So sisi tumefika hiyo level, like you become too serious at some point.
So Africa, you're talking about you've been talking about guilty pleasures. That's a very broad frame. So in terms of I'd say nowadays they call it what, self-love.
Self-love.
It may go broadened into self-love. But people need to know this. I've just come from the coast, and I've made my observations where you'd see, I think I had a phone call with you while I was still in the coast, where you'd see like Caucasian men who do not have like a body composition that they'd be able to actually score with when they're back at home, but when they come to Africa they are treated like gold, or vice versa, right? So you find like some people, maybe because of how their body is, or because not only because of but also because of the mental. There are people who've been abused out here. So in as much as we are going to talk about this, someone jacking off or someone cannot express themselves sexually because they've endured a certain trauma.
You
understand? Those things are there. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and it's a bit difficult to not justify, but to explain what jacking off is to someone who cannot have a wide view or.
But they've done it. Our fathers did it. Our great grandfathers did it. That dude you don't know did it because kuna kitu moja ile
that dude I don't know.
Yes, that's your great grandfather. You know that's the fucked up. That's the fucked up thing. Nilicheck your shit. Kuna clip flani niliona, also shared it on my whatever. Iko inasema by the year 2021 24 a stranger will be living in your house.
Hey.
Yeah. So ile by 21 24 that's 100 years from now, yes.
All right.
A stranger will be living in your house. All the things that you worked for, nothing will matter. Sindio?
Yeah.
Alafu, so now the interesting thing was like your grandkids kids won't know you. Afu msana uliza, how many of you know your grandfather's father? A lot of us don't. So that's the funny thing about life.
And
like
that's the difference between us and the Jews, or the space Jews, sorry. You know, they can count 25 generations.
Yeah.
We can only go as much.
Tunanid kudu hivyo cause like majuzi nilikuwa na watch I was watching BET Awards kulikuwa na ile performance ya YG Male and the mother sindio Lauryn Hill and I was thinking about it like your grandfather is Bob Marley. You are the grandkid of Bob Marley and you call yourself your grandfather's name, yes? Your kid will still call himself the grandfather's name because that's how much the grandpa, like 20 generations of Bob Marley, everyone will be hanging out that Marley name, like Marley. Marley.
Legacy.
So none of us get that
Nini.
Like
But how
Jomo Kenyatta.
How is that related to jacking off though?
No, I was just saying about like life and legacy and what. Like the reason why we should enjoy it is most of us, we won't even have the privilege of being remembered by our grandkids' kids. Like me, the fact, your shit ilisink kwangu, like sijui buda grandmother, sijui alikuwa naitwa nani, but mother anajua hizo majina. You see,
so yeah, for me, I think somehow this, I don't think I'll ever forget this. I think I have a very strong connection to my grandfather's grandfather.
Yeah. Ulimpata kiwa live?
Sikumpata kiwa live. But I have a very strong connection because of something, a story they keep telling me. So basically, grandboy wangu akupewa shamba na buda yake. Yeye alipewa shamba na grandboy wake. So alikuwa anaishi na grandboy wake. So mali grandboy wake amezikwa. Hiyo kitambo wako wanaweka grave na kanika grave, but there is a particular type of plant grow hapo, so unajua
this is where someone has been laid to rest. Yeah.
So when I was like, gee, they tell me when I was 4 years old, I don't know what I did, and I pissed off my grandfather, and then my grandfather was so mad that I ran away. So vile nilikimbia ni usiku. So they started looking for me, started panicking, started looking for me. No one could find where I was. So it was like panic mode kabisa, because unajua huko Ocha kuna pit latrines nini. So they were like,
Your grandfather Mjaka ama Mchaga. Okay.
So they're like, now they are panicking. The whole like village wamekuja sasa kunitafuta because they don't know where I am. Usiku. You know where they found me? Kwa hiyo grave mali kulikuwa kuna hizo nyasi na nilikuwa nimejificha hapo, since it's dark na kuna hizo nyasi nimejificha hapo. So like it became like a, you know, the way are scared of like
they attributed to some sort of spiritual ancestry.
That's where he went to seek refuge.
Out of all this cornfield, could have been a child of the corn. But
ukiwapo kwa najua ni grave.
I don't even remember that story myself. Like I'm being told that by now my uncles and them.
Word.
Okay.
So that thing I've never forgotten it. Your story. There are two stories about me and my cousin tukiwa watoi zile I'll never forget. That was me, and then my cousin always like my best friend. Yeye ilikuwa gani jogo. Kuna jogo ilimchapa wengine. Grandbuya akasema hiyo kitu ichukuliwe naidishiwe tu immediately cause mtandika ya ajabu cause it is walikuwa wanatoshana so tusini watoi ati jogo out of nowhere tu imejam na yeye we are like there like a bunch of kids but yeye peke yake tu ndio ina attack
all the time. And this is not one instance all the time.
No this one time it was so bad that my grandfather was like chukweni hiyo jogo na ikwetu mboga so those two stories I'll never forget them but I can't remember them like from my perspective. Hizo ni zile tu tumeambiwa this is what happened to you
when I pick out from what Zach says, you know, Zach said out of all the space, which means his great grandfather was probably a wealthy man, great grandfather. He had a vast amount of land. So I down it down to my grandfather, who I talk about in my book Invisible Optics. He had, he's a kingpin, the head honcho, 3 wives, 36 children, large piece of land, drives a Peugeot 202, works in a tea factory in Kericho, where I come from back at home. But then later on in life, you fast forward, right? And I'm here knocking at my dad's door like, okay, according to our culture, I need to be out of your compound, like the next minute. So do you have a piece of land somewhere, I could like, nah, nigga, get the fuck out of here. So what I'm trying to say with that is this.
Yeah.
In contrast, like what I've picked out from Zach is like the wealth diminishes over time. He had loads of spaces to hide from. I want a space to hide from at this age. I'm 45. I need to get off my dad's compound. But my dad, my grandfather married so many women, had so many children, gave birth to so many boys. Yeah. Right? Okay. Who gave birth to so many boys. So there's no land.
Damn.
So that's why I was saying we can't judge these people based on the context. That
you understand?
Bring it back home.
Or
that if your dad had the land to give you, yo kidogo amekupatia. Ruto wants tax on it.
He wants tax on that.
But yo they pulled that.
You understand? So it's more
not dead. Kimani Shongwa, he wrote and pulled that. He withdrew the bill.
He withdrew the land appropriation. So basically what I'm saying is polygamy can work in this day and age. You might be the most virile. You can be the man with all the alpha. You have all the resources. But just marry one woman with this number of kids. These others, you can be able to set up some trust or something where and bruv, get a prenup, because it's different. The game is different how it was played.
But vile Zaka mbonga jwa grand budake, there's a story, I've given it on Iko Nini. But it's one of those stories that I'd want to know what happened. Now, this is what I hate about African culture being oral, and a lot of African stories being oral is a lot of stuff gets lost in history. But me sasa nikiangalia side ya kina Buddha, so side ya mother, that is. So side ya mother, the grandfather had 2 wives. Yes, my grandfather had 2 wives, and his name is kuna kwagana this sport dude who does sports. And I don't know, I'm not sure if he's Luo, because the way he says his name, he says it wrong if he's Luo, because he calls himself Ndong. Ndong, Luo hatunaga hiyo Saudia haikuagi na kuaga Utieno. Shall notice? We are so it's Ndong. It's not Ndong. There's that dude who reads news. So I don't know if he's Luo, but he usema yake Ndong. Nafa kwa Ndong. Kani Luo ni. So Ndong had 2 wives. And out of these 2 wives kulikuwa na Agnes na mother mwingine jisikumbuki jina kwani Magdalena, I think. So Magdalena ama no, now the because Agnes ni mother akina mother. She was the second wife. Now the first wife had 1 son that hated his dad so much. So mimi nilikam kurealize baadaye. So now nimeenda Ocha as a kid and I see Ndong had a lot of land. Like that's one thing that he was good at. Like he had such a huge piece of land. So nachiki kwa hii huge piece of land yake, there's one piece of land that has hizi nyasi za ng'ombe ni refu. Alafu nikiangalia ng'ombe si kienyeji, ni hizi ng'ombe za grade, si ndio?
Indigenous breeds.
Yes. Any exotic, I think. Hizo za akina mafreshian and what. Hizo. Ndong nacheki nashindwa, alafu ameka fence. Alafu nasikia tunaambiwa kama watoi make sure ng'ombe haijaingia kwa land ya alikuwa anaitwa Charles but unajua vile wajaka usemaga Charles Charles iko like ng'ombe asiende kwa Charles ataki. So I'd want to know like what can make a son hate the father so much that ng'ombe za the father hazikuwa allowed kwenda kwa the land that the father gave him. I've never known that story. Alafu Ocha you never told these stories but sasa I want to be inquisitive unajua so like the next time nikienda Ocha there are few stories I need to ask my mother like she needs to tell me why that happened. Another story nataka kujua ni history ya Buddha ya kuhepa juu ya 1982 so these are stories now I'm interested in like before sikuwa because this happened like I'm a kid nambo Buddha hatakagi anything to do with the father so hizo siku mkona kosana budako juu ya nini is it because your father has a second wife? No, that was the culture, that was normal. Like what could make a son hate the dad that much? So that's I really want to know your story.
Your story vile umesema zetu wa oral sana so inamaanisha kuna records because kuna zingine mazee utapata like accurate answers because like me like I know that a lot of stories ile nikirudi Ocha kuuliza makozo wangu kuna wale hata wajui I might have more information than them because I spent more time with my grandfather talking about these things than them because wao wakiwakaa watoi wake walikuwa na ile ukichwangumia huyu ni buda yangu so hatuwezi kaa chini na yeye tukiongea but tukiona grandbu yeye anaongea na sisi nika watoi so kuna vitu kadhaa unaona nikaa hakuwa anaambia watoi wake but angeza kutuambia sisi you get. So those are some of the, naona kwa wale wamebaki huko saa hizi I don't think wako na a lot of information on like what happened like the reason why my grandfather was not given land by his father but ended up being given land by his grandfather. You get
kuna hizo
kuna hiyo story kuna kitu fulani ilifanyika maybe wakakosana
because mimi naweza taka kujua hizo
but polygamy has never been normal. We are talking as men. It's never been normal if you amongst women talking another woman just like hey Chalisa Chalisa anakuja leo just make space. It's never been normal. I get to humanity for women you know so but all I'm saying in terms of like culture wise right those are things that right now they'd have to be modified within what resources you have. It would be very difficult to have more than one home right now with all that's going on
unless you're a government official. Sudi can have 15 homes so it depends but mimi kuna hizo stories because even like one of the things that happened kuna I'm sure your dad knows this dude but there's a dude that died majuzi anaitwa Douglas. So Douglas alikuwa anaishi hapo Nyabondo so I'm sure your dad knows him so maybe you can ask your dad about him. So Douglas lived a life of crime. He's died without telling us like these stories. I was planning to have this conversation with him. I was ready to pay him to just ask him like this dude used to always have kiatu in a shine even in his 80s like the last time I saw him he was upright, kiatu in a shine, sold a lot of land to Indians that land didn't exist, had these brashings na the law na somehow got away with it. But now another very interesting story, I always talk about this story now. This time nikienda Ocha I want to look for this dude so there's an uncle of mine umsena mkumbukaga juu ile siku alikuja kutu visit mara ya kwanza when now my memory can remember alikuja kama Buddha alikuwa ametoka kubai like this the turntable or whatever the record player let me call it a record player so alikuwa na hii ngoma my sweetie my sugar that song had just come up so alikuwa na but this dude had come na alikuwa na injury ya mguu na injury ya mguu ilikuwa ati aliumia kwa railway kulikuwa na hizi railway za Kenya had to know like what had happened to his leg but the reason why I'm talking about him this is the same ule uncle yangu ule mpatia naga story because this time he must have been in his 40s because I think right now he's in his 60s yes this is the guy I talk about that 23 years ago tulimeet na yeye kwa Aora so jua place ya kuoga afu alikuwa like ngamotiri jela romgi ngamonegi he who's taken you to jail is equivalent to he who has killed you. He was just from Kodiaga. That means he spent his 30s in Kodiaga.
In jail.
How does that fuck your mind up? Unajua? So these are the conversations that I need to have. But now, Luos pia you have to look at the factor that Luos are also, they don't support each other. So if he knows that unataka kuweka hiki to YouTube watakulepa, why should I give you my story na wakulepa? So I'm not sure he's going to give me the story.
So in terms of Luos, let me just chime in, please, because it will escape me. So Luos don't support each other, right?
Yeah, we don't.
But then how about the head honcho? He takes anyone and everyone from his backyard, and if the head honcho, the numero uno.
Oh, we're talking about Ruto.
Yeah. You see, he takes anyone and everyone from his backyard and gives them prominent positions, right? So have you ever been to a Luo's office who has an entire department and you're there seated in the line waiting to meet him? Yeah, you'll be discarded. You understand? So compare that. Is it something that should be encouraged? That
it should be encouraged.
You should bring people.
There needs to be a certain level of nepotism. There needs to be a certain level of LeBron shit. But now family wise. Because mi hata nikibonga juu hivyo sikuwa namaanisha hata huko juu. Because huko juu nizapata maybe they support each other they politically. Because unachiki like politically Luos gravitate towards Raila, yes? But miko nasibonga as families.
Okay.
As families, like one of the things ile nili admire kabisa nikiwa states ni the Kisii community. Like there's so many Kisiis. Like hiyo trip yangu ilikuwa sponsored by Kisii community. That's what I can tell you. Why? Because Kisiis have this very interesting thing where if I go somewhere and I notice that I can make money, I'm going to try to bring my brother. I'm going to try to bring my whatever. So you find like a whole family. Like I was with this rapper, Mr. K4. Mr. K4 naniambia, hey, anko yangu, yuko that state. Nani yuko that state. Nacheki. Kuna boy flani to Onsando. Onsando gave me a very interesting story whereby someone in their, I think their village went to the US and then someone started, so he had to apply for green card. So when he applied the first time, he didn't get, he was like, fuck this shit. Do you know the guy at the cyber cafe, a fellow Kisii, kept applying for him without him knowing. Umsa akamwambia like, buda ni aje, umepata green card. Yuko, nimekuwa nikikuapplyia all along. Try to tell me the probability of a Luo doing that to you. It's next to zero. So wajaka, as kuna vitu za ujaka zile unibamba. Now in hindsight, when you are older, you can look. So other things I admire the fact that political office in Luoland mostly is for the educated. Unajua hivyo? Because compared to like somewhere like Central, like Central, they run the economy, but politics, they live for the dumbest of the dumbest amongst them to do that. Unajua? There's a lot of dumb motherfuckers who should never be next to any office. Akina Waititu. Punjab University. Sisi sayo tuko na nyongo. Macheki. But he come to helping family and helping each other. Luos are some of the worst. And to me, na nilikam kunotice na Iko Nini. Kumbuka, kuna time tuko tuna joke. Hapa tuwezi enjoy the kisses. Because when people started supporting us from abroad, walikuwa wakisi wote. Kama notice ukiekoma juu, una notice they call each other. Like even brothers in quotes marry sisters, which of course is not a real marriage, just to bring them there. Sisi inakuwaga hiki jiji yote mimi tu ndo nimeenda ngambo bwana. Wacha songe. Unasikia yako. Unajua uko ni yako kiamka asubuhi. Jua ina kusalimia like wajaka wanakuwaga nao jinga. The only I don't know who told us that only one of us can shine. We can't all shine. And it's a very bad thing considering the level of education. That's one of the things he meant to keep down. Tukikuwa tunasaidiana.
Hiyo sana tukienda saizi. Ever since Mbuya amekama hivi, nimeenda Ocha a couple of times sasa, like it's more than I've ever done in the last so many years. But kuna zile vitu mimi wanaoka, I'm like what's wrong with our people? Yani wakiwa pale wanataka kuona my brothers yani wametoka kwa mama mmoja. But ukiona ile level of competition who is
Hey, it goes all the way to funerals.
Exactly. Ukiamka kesho wewe usihangaike, gari iko hapa, ukitaka kwenda hapa gari huyu mwingine anakuambia achana na hiyo gari. Yani una private, kila mtu ana compete kuprovide na transport sasa. Wewe
ukitaka
kama nataka kwenda Kindube, wewe sema gari iko hapa.
Oriembo na ngonya. Ochung na simama.
Bas.
So cheki, so hiyo ni nini?
Hiyo level ya competition tuko nayo mazee na kogatu.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Because me vile sijakudanganya like hiyo nini, I looked at that and I admired it. You're like that level of helping each other out. Like we're trying to imagine someone is applying for your green card without you knowing. You're trying to change your life without you knowing. Like how roho safi is that person? Nacheki. But sisi the competition, like even within family kuna kwa hiyo competition. Like bullshit. Like mi kuna I'll be honest because mi upatia gasi stories sinini kupatia watu hapa, but sisi even like my mother and her sisters they don't fully get along. Alafu when you come and hear the bullshit why they don't fully get along because of the number of sons.
Wow.
Can you believe that shit? So mother alienda akiwa na 4 sons, yes? And unapata kuna sistake moja hakuwa na watoi, mwingine sijui hakuwa na nini, so kuna kuwa na ile design ati unaturingia juu kuna watoi. Like, no, this is bullshit. Acheki like
no, but no, I understand.
And I don't like that.
Based on their upbringing,
yes.
their conditioning. That's why I'm saying we have to be very careful as to how we castigate our
No, we are
ancestors.
not castigating. We are not castigating. We are saying like this generation needs to do better. And we do better by what? But if we can help each other, let's help each other. Let's not treat it as a competition. Let's pull each other. You have this strength, I have this strength. Let's
again.
Jaloka,
yeah. I don't know if you
from abroad.
You guys will recall this rapper in context to that.
Yeah,
A$AP Rock. If your father and his father fish from the same water, you must break the cycle. So you're talking about breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
So breaking the cycle doesn't mean we have to be harsh. Like for me to be, I've been the harshest critic of our ancestors, or rather of my ancestors, let me say that. Because whatever they did, it's a constant reminder that even you don't have the manual.
Yeah.
No one has the manual.
Of life.
Everyone is trying to just try and fixing this jigsaw to make it work. So what can we do? So the Kisi seems to have gotten a glimpse of the what do you call that code?
Because when you say vile umesema hiyo story ya manual, it reminded me of another person. Rest in peace to Ogada. So Ogada is my grandfather. And right now the person who sold us land is someone called Kenga. So Ogada spent in the 1940s 50s and 60s, that dude was in Nairobi, man. Living in Kaloleni. Living in Kaloleni.
Damn.
You know where Kenga was? Kenga was in Kisumu County. Kenga had to sell us land. Because you know just school kuna mkatua subuhi kwa lo pacha yako kaje kacho. Like my land starts from here to there. This dude was in Nairobi. What the fuck are you doing in Nairobi in the 40s? Fuck you, man. Come back to yeah, so this dude had no land. Like wanamuka nimejam nao na sikuwa hivi. Like hakuwa na land aje in the 40s. There was land in the 40s. This dude was in Nairobi, man. So it's interesting. So now that Kenga dude had so much land. Do you know he has land on like kuna kwa na baro. So unajua hiyo baro like unajua side ya Ocha kuna ukitoka Stopamba, si ndio? Onyongo.
Yeah.
Then kuna toll sasa kuna place naitwa Bethlehem where there is a mog.
Yeah.
Alafu side ingine ni so kuna side ya Wajaka.
No,
alafu kuna side ya Wakale.
Yeah.
Kenga has land on the Kalenjin side that he's never sold because you know those dudes like Wajaka wako like watakuja kuiba ng'ombe zetu sasa tufanye nini hapa. So the land is there but it's never kuzime hata tukienda Aora tunaendaga kuna hiyo sasa the Aora the river separates Kalenjin from Luos but hii side ingine bado ni Wajaka but kuna land mse iko hiyo side and I've always thought about it but sasa unajua mimi as the last born I need to stay in Ocha so someone else need to take that land so musa maga hiyo ni kuenda na kuinunua alafu kuelectrify because Kenga died now it's his kid who are still left but that's how much land he had. My grandfather did not have any land so that's why najua ukisema no one has the manual of life musa maga yes this dude was in his 20s was like you know what I need some Nairobi pussy fuck this kuja to Nairobi to look for you know,
in the what in the 50s,
yeah 50s is in Nairobi before freedom like what the fuck are you doing in Nairobi
man? Just 2 years after World War II, man. Yeah, he
so
was out there 2 years before the Mau Rebellion, man. He was in Nairobi doing this thing. Shout out to Kenga, man. Mad respect, rest in power,
but no Kenga is the one who stayed behind Grand Buddha and Ogada so shout out to Ogada.
So the thing is what the viewers would want to know, I know there's a lot of cohesion in terms of when Mwafrika talks about where he comes from. we come from a place called Nyakach, and we are famous for having,
Produced the first Luo
the first Luo president.
Yeah.
And we watch these CIA niggas run up and down trying to get these things, throwing stones. But we've been there, man.
Yeah.
We left that to y'all.
Rule for 6 hours. Man.
We have stories we have the history that comes from our area is very dark, especially when you talk about the whole 82 Air Force, and he's got relatives, I've got relatives around that region. There's people who disappeared. Y'all talking about abductions right now? There's unmarked graves from way back, in the 80s, early 80s, into the mid 80s, we don't know where our friends, our relatives and family are. So these are histories that need to be, in as much as Zach talked about recorded. Well, thank God we have the internet.
Yeah, like right now, at least ours, we know.
Yeah,
the future generations will be able to go back.
Yeah.
It was this dark, because I don't think by then they will still be as dark as we are.
Yeah.
Climate change and all that. There was this dark days. These are our forefathers.
Yeah.
His name was Zach, Africa, and MOOKI.
At least itakuwa recorded.
Ours is documented.
Yeah.
But like back in the days, man, like there's a lot of things that happen. Like if we even had a script of it, not just even video, just a script.
Yeah.
We could use it for a lot of like.
Yeah, and that's why and that's why the Western culture has taken advantage of that, because when we talk about this community that has land that's not actually resolved in terms of boundaries, and there's people from regions like Palestine who are trying to intervene and claim their land, you find that their whole only justification is how far they're able to account for. Accounted for their ancestry without DNA. Like each and every family has that's how they're able to do their thing. Now, in regards to their race, the complexion of their skin, that's subject to debate. But we should be able to do that. Yeah.
So right now we're
on that tip.
We're in Nairobi. I wish we could even get the coordinates.
Yeah.
So that the future people can know exactly where I sat. I was sitting here. 200 years from now. They'll know. Like, I was sitting here.
Who's that rapper who did that album, The Future Is Now?
Shida ni, we always assume that internet is the epitome of human civilization.
No.
In our existence, that's the assumption.
This will be some medieval shit.
So
like they used to do internet.
Do that?
Because your time maybe a dude just appears.
Teleporting.
So I think like so as much as tunasema hizi records ziko, will this medieval technology called the internet be there during that time? Because usahau
nuclear
mtu miaga ile shit ya nani Neil deGrasse Tyson. So vile Neil deGrasse Tyson semaga, science, we've been studying science actively for the past 400 years. So tukiangalia science according to the cosmos, where if you have to look at the age of earth and the age of earth is how much, like the age of the universe 13.8 billion years, yes. Alafu earth iko like 4.5 billion, yes. Tukiangalia science in relation to the earth, we're in the first second, and in this first second we've been able to come up with internet, electricity, blah 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 blah. So now try and imagine when science is
5 years old,
5 seconds old.
Oh, it's 5 seconds.
Yeah, when it's 5 seconds old, I'm 5 years old. Like shit is going to be different. All this internet shit will be medieval.
And that's the discussion I was having on PWNN with Zach at some point. Not a discussion, but it was a by the way. But it was in terms of fractions of seconds. In terms of in a Formula 1 race. If your opponent or the driver before you, the distance between you is a second, it can be measured into fractions of that. So someone can win the race in a fraction of a second. And the science to prove that. So those guys, in terms of speed engineering and all that calibration and chemistry and whatnot, you get. So it's heading there, and I think it's heading there in terms of time. In terms of time. So who are we, man?
Yeah, but tuko tunabonga juu ya 40s. So you're enjoying your 40s ama? And how does it feel, people thinking you're old? Because muchekaga sana people in their 20s are there, ama buda ako 40 atuelewi buda
You
tunakuelewa
say that. You say that. You say that from.
yeah, nilikuwa nasema nilikuwa kwa Twitter space ya kina Osama Otero and there was that discussion of unajua sio wako in their 40s hawajui like hii struggle tunajua juu yao buda tunajua jo si tuko in our 40s na tunajua inafanyika juu yetu but I understand that when you're in your 20s people in their 40s look really old and you think you don't know that time just moves like kids who are born in the year 2000 are 24 right now what the fuck does that make sense that's around the same time tuko tuna meet tuki exchange hip hop those kids are 24 years old that motherfucker can fight with you over pussy like how the fuck does that make sense
Can you
I
imagine?
think
Like,
so
in terms of time, you'll take it that, and this will stick to who's that guy who Mourinho told time is just gonna pass you like this. Dele Alli.
yeah
When Mourinho talked to him and told him like, "You're hot right now. You'll be an ice cube, just like this." I was 50 right
That
now.
happened.
You get. So for me, you ask me how I feel about my 40s. I am more in touch and inclined into things. I feel a lot. Like if like yo my niggas, man, and I love you niggas. Like I love you my brothers. Now napenda hao mandugu zangu nimetafsiri hiyo mjue hivyo and such that if the experiences that I have in life right now I value them to the nth. Like saizi vile niko hapa nao hao mandugu zangu it's not been a bed of roses. Y'all niggas don't know that, but we are here. You don't even know how this happened right here. It's almost I don't know. We are not perfect, but we've been here 24 years down the line. Someone has given birth to a child who's gone to universities. We are here. We're here. Gray hair. We're still gonna be here. And you know what? I don't look old. Man, I take your bitch away from you. Look at me, man. I'm 45. Man. I'm fly as fuck.
it's
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
What's strange to me ni we've known each other longer than our age at that ile time tuko tuna meet and that's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Alafu kitu reason ilifanya tukamit hivi is technology was not what it is right now. Because if technology was what it is right now hatunge meet because we met because of our love for hip hop music. So the fact that could meet
but technology was the influence, no?
Yes.
Napster and them.
Yeah, but it was not what it is right now. Because you know right now I can get my own shit. I don't need to know you. Wacheki, but hiyo time ilikuwa like hey buda jo. Kuna msee fulani mimi sana naambia unajua yule msee aitwa Madrapa anaishi pale.
Yeah. And I used to
So
hear
when
you listen to the radio on the
Wakilisha show.
Wakilisha show, yeah.
Alafu mimi naishia Calif na nani niambia jo kuna msee fulani anaitwa Louis. So jua unajua jua is the one who introduced me to Jua Kali. So you look at all these things you're like damn technology and then time flies. Like hapa ni 99 2000 nini nakumbuka nikitembea nikienda kwa umse nikienda kwa keja yako and I remember around the same time that now Nani had become president Kibaki and I'd look at State House and go like damn we have a different president. It's not Moi. Right now it's 20 black.
But I'll tell you some things. I'll tell you. I hope this makes it in the edit. I'll tell you something, guys. Mafrika has a lot of patience that I don't. You know, yeah. And I saw Mafrika has given shout outs to people who I don't have patience for, and not to say that I hate them or anything, but it's just that time placed them in a certain way that they felt they had much more privilege. Believe it or not, that we went to Caliph Records studio, not because we just felt like we loved hip hop so much, and at the behest of one Claymore, who was just a neutral ass dude, you know, he never had anything, and we went there with our underground rapping shit, and we were just told to get the fuck out of Caliph Records, you know. But Wolf was there, and I had you mention Jimmy Gather. Jimmy Gather called me for an interview. The dude could even have eye contact with me. You know, the one thing you can do with a man to show respect, you know, is have eye contact with them. Oh, okay. You know, and I was like, come on, man, you want me to do a show and like, what's up, man? What's up with that? Can we chop it up? And you know, so all these things is like there's people out there. There's been the Dead and Kimatis to lay the foundation for the regarding Ashagwas and to the JJ Kamodos. There's always been a foundation They've been
the Dedan Kimathis for the Rex Masais and the David Cheges.
Exactly, but you know, like the conventional, conventional and the real, you know. So there's been that even in the hip hop sphere. You know, we've no, let me not but there've been efforts and experiences, and for us to be here to be able to share these experiences with you, there's been a lot of effort out here, man. Some good, some bad. And we've met a lot of people, man. We met the Prince of Wales, remember?
Hizo ndo vitu niambia. Unajua I have such a fucked up memory.
Shit, really?
I don't remember that
dude,
shit.
And I'm the one who just squeezes some juice. Come on, man.
Did you meet the Prince of Wales?
Yeah, you remember it was at the British Council, man.
Zach and
Zach was there.
Tuli hang out na naume TMK niko, huh? Yeah, I don't remember.
We went and he shook our hands. The proof, it's not. I mean, still.
Yeah, okay.
We had our time, and then still it has an impact on people, because kuna mse alini message juzi akiniona kwa PWNN kwa Zach.
Porn for breakfast.
Porn for breakfast. You know, akaniambia, hey, I watched you on Porn for Breakfast. It was titled Zach and MOOKI. And my uncle, David Gituma, used to play for Tusker FC. He used to carry me to the training grounds, Nakuru, training grounds at Tusker FC, wakienda kucheza nini. Na akicheza matabia zetu. Tak. Remember? Also, there's a time Zach, so for him, he grew up. Alisikia Zach mwafuli na MOOKI apotea wapi jo, alafu Zach akasema ati MOOKI Garang bado kuna mashughuli fulani lakini atarudi, lakini upuzi. Kuna jam fulani ameacha isha hapo, and Zach is like tak. You remember that upuzi joint? So that has stuck on, and the guy's name is what? David Gituma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? And guess what? Where it's from? That's Nakuru. All the way from Nyabondo. Look at what connects us.
Yeah, the music. The music was powerful. Yeah.
Tribeless. Yo, we were tribeless before you all Gen Zs, man. Come on.
Yeah, tribeless, partyless. It was just about the music, man. Yeah. So hii imekuwa ni conversation, kuna conversation fulani ile ya politics itakuwa kwa Patreon, but kama kawa vile usisemaga like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Check it, Joe. In their 40s, just rocking DKNY.
Apu Hozo NY onto DKNY. Miami DC prefer Versace. All Philly hoes, Pudo Moshido, every cutie with a booty. Yeah, man, flyers fucking 45. Who's the real dick? Who's the real duke?
Yeah. Tukimalizia 326 kusema Iko Nini.